Hello, hello, Fill Your Cup family, and welcome back to another episode of Fill Your Cup. Welcome back to a round two episode of Fill Your Cup with my girl, JJ Constellation. We are back together, and number one, it feels so freaking good just to be in her energy, to be connected in this space with you here right now. But it feels really, really good to be back in this space, knowing how well received our first episode was together and how beautiful the messages, again, that just flowed in such a divine way. They came out and everyone's like, damn, what's going on? And so we're like, yes, it's on and popping. Let's get it going. We got to get back on here. And so, you guys, I am not even like my usual episodes. I'm like, this is the cards that are going to lay out the episode. Like, no, we're going straight into it. We are going to share lots of beautiful messages, specifically for the month of April, this energy of April. And this is going to be a regular thing with JJ and I, kind of each month. We are going to give a little, session here, it's session, whatever this is, going back and forth, just flowing again on the energy, on the messages that want to come through, how we can ground down and you really use what energy is available to us for our highest good, right? Yeah, so let's just get it rolling. JJ, I will hand it right on over to you if you want to say, hey, what's up, hello.
Hey.
But yeah.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for having me again. It's an honor. Like you said, everybody was really happy with our energy. I got a lot of messages from people saying, I love the flow. I love the connection. Your energies just connect and mesh together so beautifully. So hopefully we'll be bringing this every month for you guys. And I hope you guys enjoy.
Yes, yes, yes. That feels so good.
Yeah, it
And
does.
I'm already shuffling cards. I'm already pulling cards. Is there anything though that for you kind of want to start with, or do you want me to just grab it on over? Because I know you said you had some messages that were already channeled.
Yes, I do have messages that I channeled right before the podcast because I wanted to kind of just sit with the energy a little bit and kind of see what was going on, what the spirit want to relay for the month. So I will share a little bit of those as I shuffle, and feel free to, talk to me or tell me if you pick up anything or anything like that. So the first thing that we got was fear and anxiety, which makes perfect sense. We're dealing with, there's a lot of release of blockages that came up in this channeled messages. You're saying that there is a need to not shrink in fear, that there is radical growth happening for the month of April, that there is temporary disorder and chaos, but we do not need to worry. Okay, there's nothing here. We're just releasing the old and we're stepping into the age of Aquarius, which is the shift of higher consciousness, of spiritual advancement, and of awareness of spirituality as a whole, as a planet. There's also here a broken down of systems for new ones to be built. There's also a need to step out of the energy of control during these times. They're saying do not resist the process. This is all to lead us to the next chapter, to stay rooted in our faith and to know that all is well and that all is taken care of. A lot of things will be affected. Relationships will be affected the most. Also, there's a huge message here to not feel guilty for walking away from people that are not serving you anymore. There's also an important message here, being the last one, that seems that the message is clear. It seems like there's only chaos and confusion. You are spiritually strong during this time. You need to trust in your intuition over what appears to be on the outside. There's another way to live, to thrive, and you're heading towards it. Know that all changes in your life serve your highest good. And that was the message.
Okay, first off, I'm shook. Thank you so much for just channeling like messages for this episode in particular and just like this space. How freaking special, you guys. Go rewind, go listen to that 1,000 times. So much, just the first that like came through that we will start to unpack. But first thing, fear and anxiety, because even before you started talking, I pulled two cards. First card that came out was criticism. So again, that lower vibration.
Yes.
How can my next card was courage. How can we have the courage to move through these vibrations, these lower vibrations of anxiety, of fear, of stress, of what is collectively being brought up? Because I don't know about you, girl, but a lot of like in the beginning of all of the shakeup with all of this, I was definitely like anxious, like had an anxiety attack, hadn't had one
Oh,
in forever, right? And I'm like,
yes.
wait, this isn't mine,
Yes.
right? So having that check-in to center in, having that courage to like look beneath what's going on, because also a message that's coming through is like we're taking in again collectively the fear, the anxiety, the all of it, which is sparking up that criticism, which is this card sparking
Yeah.
up that criticism within ourself, like, oh, like all of these ways that fear has been holding us back, and all of those ways that our anxiety or stress has been holding us back. And then these are being brought to the surface, which is we're being brought face to face with like, okay, we got to look at this. We are either allowed to either sit in it, or we can
Mhm.
again choose to transform. So those
Exactly.
are just the first two cards right away. Woof.
Yeah, no, I was just saying this in the other podcast that I did with Soul Work, that she asked me the same thing. Did you feel any energetic difference before the whole pandemic? And I was like, oh yeah, I was having panic attacks, and I didn't know why, if I haven't had panic attacks in such a long time. And I
Mm,
was like, this isn't mine.
mm,
And so it's interesting to me that you picked up the same type of energy, because that tells us as empaths it's really hard too sometimes to define when is our energy and when is the collective's energy. And so there's an energy here with the Knight of Pentacles that I pulled out, that there is a need to take it slow, to be grounded, to know that one step, no matter how big it is, no matter if it's an inch or bigger, it's still a step forward. And we need to look at that in that with that vision, and not get caught up in, like you said, in the fear of things, and to stay rooted in love, especially love in the community, which is very interesting because those are the cards that came out, love and community.
mm.
So sharing love and not fear-based thoughts.
Yeah, I love that, because that was what I was saying right before we got on. The message that came through in my like solo energy update was love, like grounding into that frequency of love and opening ourselves up into love. Excuse me. Door to romance. Yes. And oh my God, I love that, because when I was pulling cards, I have two to talk about our relationship, but two I pulled for that last message that was so potent, which was really spirit talking how I feel. What came through for me, spirit like talking about, it's okay, grounding into this frequency of love,
Yeah.
like, short and simple, sweet, if you want
Yes,
to.
exactly.
Go back and rewind, y'all, because that was powerful as fuck.
That was a lot. When Spirit gave me that message, I was like, that's a lot for people to process. I mean, they're gonna have to pause.
Yeah, girl, I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna have to go back, but that was again so potent. But again, like simple, short and simple, grounding into that
It's love.
frequency, and what is coming through is love. So three cards right here. I pulled these two tarot cards when you were talking about it, when you were actually speaking it, and it's this great void, which is a goddess card in this deck, which is major arcana, right? That's what we're in right
Yeah.
now, sitting in this
Number
great void
20.
space.
Yeah.
Oh girl, yes, coming into that harmony, that duality, that balance of love, right?
Yes.
And yeah, just sitting in the space of darkness, of chaos, of the collective right now. We're so uncertain. That's something that
Yes.
maybe we can talk about, like all of this uncertainty. How can we really like use that? Again, it's like a weird energy, but start to ground into it and use it to our advantage. Having that courage, that comes back to the first card, but grounding into it so we can find pleasure. And pleasure goes with love, right? The vibration of 6. You can speak on that if you want.
Family.
family.
Family. Number 6 is related to family, to relationships. So it's very interesting how you're saying spirit in regards to everything that's going on, all the chaos, all the anxiety. The message of love comes through.
Mm.
And spirit is saying there is this door to romance, to love. And that's why I feel like in the channeled information, specifically, literally, it was in a point, relationships will be affected. And I
Ooh.
was like, what? In my head, I was like, wait, like my little logical head was like, wait, why relationships? But it
Right.
makes sense. And you're seeing it too. Love, relationship, our connections. And I feel like many of us are starting to see, because we're staying at home,
Mm.
which relationships are working with us. A lot of people right now with their partners are like,
Butting heads. We both just punched. You can't see us, but we both were just like punching and like, yeah, exactly. That's
yeah,
exactly what was coming through. Awakening, like you said, to the relationships that are working, but also relationships like time to switch, time to bye-bye. And again, like in this uncertain times, it's a little scary when everything is getting so shook up.
yes,
Ah, that's so beautiful.
exactly. But what I love about April, though, what I see here in the cards, because we have the Nine of Cups and we
Mm.
have the Four of Cups. The Nine of Cups would be a card about wish fulfillment, emotional contentment. It's about being happy, like you said, pleasure, finding pleasure in what you already have. With the Four of Cups, what I love about it is within all this chaos, there is an offer here. Spirit is giving us something.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's giving us something. It's giving us a cup. But the thing here is with the Four of Cups is that sometimes we're too rooted in something else, or we're too
Yeah.
focused in something else, that we're not seeing the cup that is being offered. So I want in April for you guys to just change your awareness a little bit and focus in love and focus on the blessings that are coming to you. It doesn't matter how small they are still a gift. And there's so much that you can focus. There's so much positivity that you can focus on. And let's not focus on the fear, on the anxiety here, because Spirit is offering us something beautiful here. I could really feel it.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a lot of, amidst all the chaos, there's good stuff coming out as well.
Two things want to come through. The first thing is I pulled the card of the wise woman. And so that's just spirit. Again, there's really beautiful and potent energy here. And when you showed me the card of the roots, it brings me back to nature and that energy, the healing energy of nature in all of my readings for like this last half of March, and how people can really like ground into this energy. Go heal with Mama Earth. Go heal
Yeah.
with her. She's healing right now. Ground with her.
Mhm.
So that's something that's really coming through. Mm.
Yeah, optimism just came out. We were just
Uh,
talking about changing your shift, your perspective.
yeah. Oh, that's another thing, right? Changing your
Yeah,
perspective. So two things really about that. Two cards that flew out that were on perspective, setting the intention, and again, connecting with your heart of what that perspective is. What's your intention here about all things, right? Shifting
exactly.
and
Exactly.
being patient with yourself through this time.
Yes.
Patience. And this,
Compassion,
what is this? Isn't this the month of four? We're coming back to four.
stability.
Yeah, exactly. And that is a huge number that's just come that I keep seeing. And it's like, okay, all of these foundations, like you were saying, are being
Mhm.
broken down. Here we are, that cup that you were saying. It's like what was coming through when you were talking about it. It's like there's something good for us here, but also like that cup is empty. We have the choice of what goes in it.
Exactly. Exactly. And this is essentially the regular tarot. This would be the Ace of Cups. The
Mm,
cup that is being gifted here with the four is the Ace of Cups. So it's something that
mm,
will fulfill you. It's something that is more fulfilling maybe with where you were, because the Four of Cups talks about a person who is in boredom, who doesn't find satisfaction anymore in what they have.
mm.
So something's being offered here to kind of get you, snap you out of that energy of, what would you call it? When you're like, you don't find happiness or pleasure with where you are. There's a name, but I can't.
Um, the word coming through is like stagnant. You're stuck. You're just not feeling good. But I know what you mean. That's not the word at all.
It's
Um,
apathy.
oh no,
An
I was
apathy?
just say
No,
unfulfilled apathy.
no.
Girl,
An
that's over my head. Spirit, if you want to deliver what word that is, be more than welcome. But
It's like
yeah.
being like, yeah, not finding satisfaction with what you have, kind of.
Oh, I love that. And
Go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say you go ahead. I was just gonna say, just one thing really quick, a quick practice you can do every morning: tap into gratitude, 3
Yeah.
gratitudes right in the morning when you wake up, journaling, grab your journal, even saying them out loud before you even hop out of bed, just speak those, tap into gratitude. So you're in that frequency all day. And so
Yes.
even when something does like kind of take you off that path and make you mad, or you start to criticize yourself, start to criticize others, start to tap into that fear, you can come back to that thought of first thing in the morning, oh yeah, I tapped into this. This is what I'm grateful for.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy, right? Between all the chaos, the anxiety, to lose sight of what we already have. And I found it so interesting here that you picked up the wise woman, right? You picked
Mm-hmm.
out, and I picked out the lovely lady.
Oh my gosh. And that goes hand in hand with what I talked about earlier, was the
Yeah.
divine feminine, tapping
Yes.
into that energy this month.
And what is the divine feminine? It's not about chasing, it's about attracting. It's about stepping into that energy of being willing to receive and not pushing or forcing things to happen, but being that vessel for spirit to come through and give you that wisdom and that cup that we so want, that will fulfill us.
Trusting. That's the word that keeps coming through, is trust, trust, trust. And that's what happens when you tap into that heart space. It's going to is going to connect you deeper with that feminine essence, that feminine energy that even if you're a male, like you have within
Oh,
you.
of course.
And so beautiful, because the next card I pulled out was Power of the Divine Masculine. So
Oh,
of course you need both. You need that flow, and to just be aware, like you said, invite yourself to open your awareness this month to like where those imbalances are in your energy, and to hold that safe space, coming back to that safe space of love and compassion when you do navigate these waters, opening your eyes to
yes.
these things.
Yeah, because we don't want to be too much in the masculine where we're trying to control, where we're trying to go at things, where we're trying to make things happen. And we don't also want to be in the feminine too much where we're just complacent either. There has to be a balance, right? Because I also got the card taking steps. So obviously there are steps that we need to take. And I do feel like this is something that is very creative as well. I do feel like a lot of beautiful things will emerge from this quarantine that we are in. There is a lot of projects, there's a lot of ideas that many of us always say, I wish I had the time. I wish I had more time, more availability.
Yes,
Well, now is the
yes.
time. What steps can you take to make, your wishes come true, or certain dreams with the 9 of Cups here come true?
I love that. And two things, or not even two, probably more than two. But the first thing is the card I pulled is love. Hello, here we come back.
There we go.
This is the time to find that and to hone into that, to just ground
Yeah.
into that frequency. So there's another reminder. And then creativity. What was the card that you pulled just then before the 9 of Cups? Like still taking action this month, kind of.
Oh, the Knight of Pentacles?
Yeah, I think I don't think it was that. It was like I don't know. But you were just speaking on it. It's okay. Literally, it was like not getting too complacent in the feminine, right? Still having
Oh,
that
yes.
flow, still having that flow of action, and still like taking those steps. And so this month inside of my like business mastermind, it's a 6 month. This month is all about the huntress energy. And so being able to have that balance, like Athena, right? That
Yeah.
warrior, like keep going and know, like you don't have to push, you don't have to force. That was another thing you were talking about. Like right now, this is just a temporary phase of the cycle.
Of
Let's
course.
not force it. Let's not like try to figure out what's going on, or try to
Yes.
like fix anything, because like we'll go crazy. What are we trying to fix? Like we can't. We have to wait.
It's
Again, that
out of our control.
yes.
Yeah, it's out of our
Patience.
control. There are certain things we could take steps, in regards social distancing. There are certain steps that we can take, but not everything is within our control. And I do see here that there is a need of boundaries as well. Did come up for April, a need for boundaries, and to let go of what is not yours to carry. To surrendering. This woman is literally floating in water. To surrender and let go.
I love that. And the card that I just pulled at the same time was illusion. Like surrender the illusions, let
Yeah,
go of the illusions, right?
the
Um,
deceit. Yeah,
yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that.
yeah.
Let's come back to relationships.
Okay.
I feel like that's big. Um,
Do you want to pull separate cards for those? We'll pull separate cards.
Yes, the two cards I pulled was the crone resurrection and then fruition. So resurrection, the crone resurrection, she's like the wise woman going into her cave, and she has the snake with her, which is the energy of like right now is super snake medicine
Yes.
energy is like
Mhm.
life, death, rebirth, shed the skin.
Shedding. Yeah.
Let's let it all go. Let's
Yes.
come
Yeah.
back to alignment, right? And so with
And what I love about the snake too, sorry to interrupt you,
no,
is
not
that
at
the
all.
snake, once it sheds its skin, has to hide away, has to quarantine herself because her
Mm.
skin is too sensitive. And when she gets it a little bit thicker, she comes out.
Oh
So
my
it's
gosh.
so it's kind of reminding us of us, right? Right now we're letting go of a lot. We're using this time of isolation to kind of also thicken our skin, get back to the rhythm of things. You know?
I love that. Thank you for stopping me and slowing it down.
I'm
'Cause that,
sorry.
no, don't even ever apologize. Like that is so beautiful. Because if that is not the truth of right now, we're like, I love honestly being kind of like forced to like just like stop and like, okay, real world is slowing down. How can we find balance like
Yeah.
within really? And so what a beautiful message. So snake medicine, this card and the snake has been coming up in so many readings, like Kundalini awakening, like
Of
that.
course.
Just right, like go research that Kundalini awakening. Go dive into your own wormhole. But yeah, and especially what we were just like full circle coming back to relationships. Like again, that was a big message from spirit. Like we
Yes, it was.
are finding that new way to communicate, that new way to show up. Literally everything is shifting.
Yes.
So yeah,
The dynamics are shifting.
yeah.
I do see here for April, we have a decision. I'm not surprised. There is the Two of Swords. We're making decisions when it comes to relationships. That did come in the channeled information. Some of us will be walking away. We have the Eight of Cups from
Mm,
relationships that we maybe invested a lot of time, a lot of energy in, but are no longer fulfilling because we were always left with this energy of waiting. We were waiting for more. We were waiting for something to change. We were waiting for some type of external circumstance to happen for us to be able to walk away. But I do see here many of us are going to be pursuing our passion. We're going towards the Ace of Wands. So again, there's this energy coming up again to not feel guilty if you need to walk away from someone or something that is no longer fulfilling you, because I do feel like there is something better. I do feel like a lot of twin flames are coming into union as well, since you did say the Kundalini energy. But
mhm,
there is a call here. We have the World. So there is a call. There is a call for something greater for us. And for many of us, we're going to be tapping and seeing what that call is during
mm.
this time of like you said, of slowing it down a little bit, pausing.
I love that. And that again comes back to what I think trying to share before about that huntress energy
Mhm.
too. It comes back to where I'm at. I mean, in my own personal experience, like I have been doing the work to get to this point, answering the call. Like I'm getting so clear on my offering, so clear on what I'm here to do. And it's so beautiful that this is coming out and how I can just validate where I'm at, right? Like it
Exactly.
really is that time, you guys, to step forward, to express your truth, whatever you've been like wanting to do. Like trust me, the world needs your medicine, needs your light, like now, whatever it is.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely agree with you. A lot of us are being called to step it up in a way, to step it up and to transform. And that's not easy, but I do feel like a lot of valuable connections are being made, a lot of supportive connections. This is literally the
Mm,
card of new supportive connections are being made
mm.
to bring in transformation.
Oh
So
my
that is,
gosh.
I mean, I don't know. That's perfectly said in my opinion.
Yeah, no, exactly. And like again, if that is not the truth in my experience this past week, like just being open, like you said, that divine feminine energy, allowing myself to be open to trust, like even through the chaos, the things moving and grooving behind the scenes of like the outside world are so divinely like set up. And even if it'd be harder for me to say this and own it in the moment if I wasn't feeling so great at where I'm at, but like even if I wasn't feeling great, I know deep down that I am like going through, like shifting through, shedding something so heavy. Like I'm so aligned in this moment to be really moving through some shit.
Exactly.
Because moving through the shit, you come face to face with it where it's time to release it. Again, that deep
Yeah, of
snake
course.
medicine. So yeah, just kind of want to come back to that because there's always two sides. Like I also I think that's a reminder for myself, like, okay, Emily, you know, like
Yeah,
let's ground back down, like duality. So
of
really
course.
beautiful. Yeah.
The polarity there, and also the divine feminine, allowing yourself to feel your feels and being okay with
Mm,
it, you know, being
mm,
okay with that. That's important. No judgment there, no shame if you feel anxious, if you feel, especially we're letting people go. Don't go into that spiral of, oh my God, why did I wait this long? Why did I stay or put up with this? No, do not do that. We're not, we need to own it, right?
mm.
And move forward.
That's super potent, and like the message that's coming through really strong is if we choose to sit in a spiral and sit in it, like it's going to be really hard to come out of it. Like it's not impossible right now to come out of it, but the energy is really going to sit you there. So that it just wants to come through.
Yeah.
Mm.
Another message is to not micromanage. In April, let's try not to micromanage.
Mm.
Because, like you said, going back to that energy of release, of allowing, going with the flow, allowing things to unfold the way that they should,
Mm.
and us taking the steps that we can take, right, as a society, as human beings, to do our part, but to not get caught up in that energy either.
Yeah, I love that. That like two things that come through is control, micromanage. That's the imbalanced masculine, right? That's just too much masculine energy. If we control, we constrict, and there's no room for that flow, for that magic.
Exactly.
And then what you were saying with like just the last bit, like we can sit there and like try to choose to control and like get really like stuck in that spiral, or we can just choose to be prepared.
Yeah, to be
Yeah.
prepared. Yeah, to
Yeah.
be prepared. Because, I mean, that's all we can do essentially, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's really beautiful.
I
Um,
love that.
yeah. I pulled a card here with Master Hilarion and Archangel Raphael. I don't know, I'm feeling called to ask if you can chant like pull on that. If there's any energy from Archangel Raphael, I guess specifically.
It's interesting, but because before I started the podcast, Archangel Raphael came in. His energy came in.
Stop. Ah!
Or else I have an email to prove it. Yeah.
Oh my God. And you
Yeah.
guys, I was not even gonna stop and like ask about this, but this card was like, no, you need to ask her to talk about this. I love it.
See
Oh,
how we're in sync?
you can't make this shit up,
No,
people.
you can.
Oh, oh.
His energy that came through earlier is a lot of healing. It's a lot of healing. He is the healer. He is the doctor, and he wants you to be patient on your own healing journey. To not compare your healing journey to nobody else's. To be compassionate of those who are having a difficult time, and to know that this is just more than us. This is his message, is this is a collective as a planet we are shifting basically. We're shedding light to a lot of subconscious things, a lot of rooted things that need to come up in order for them to heal and in order for them to be released, so that we can move forward in our path, and then we can live a life without a lot of anxiety and pain. Because the image that he's giving me is an image of someone that is literally living through their life, but they're doing it through a place of wounding.
Mm.
Yeah. And so he wants us to release that, to use this time to let it go and to cleanse it, and to know that new possibilities, new opportunities will come from this as well.
Mm,
And that we are going to move forward.
mm.
Yeah.
That's so special. And that really wraps back to a message that I haven't reflected that you've been saying so beautifully. Like, even though there's so much like chaos going on right now, April holds such potent energy, like beautiful, like positive energy for us.
Yes.
And that really makes sense. And the card on my card with Archangel Raphael, it's like a gate is opening, and I'm assuming he's standing there, angels standing there, whatever light being that you
Mhm.
feel safe and connected with is standing there and calling you
Yes.
and calling you into that healing. And the next thing that wants to be said is like, this is a month, this especially April is a month for deep heart healing.
Oh,
deep,
yeah.
deep healing of the heart.
Yeah. The Three of Swords came out. Yeah.
Oh,
Get
wow.
back grounded, because there is a storm for many of us within our heart.
Mm.
There's a lot of attachments, unhealthy attachments too,
Mm.
that we need to release. And many of it, he's saying, is coming from the trying of micromanage. Because a lot of us step into this emperor energy. Like you pulled the divine masculine, and I pulled the emperor, which is the divine masculine.
Oh my God, of course.
Yeah. So again, we have to find a balance between the feminine and the masculine energy here.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's super divine. I love how that just all flowed out. My heart is like pulsing right now. I've definitely been feeling like definite heart upgrades, and I
Oh,
guess
yeah.
I want to share this, and maybe you can share your experience like with feeling it. But like my body like has been really hot the past couple of
Oh
days.
my God. I was going to tell you right now. I'm sweating.
Oh my God, of course. Like, we don't, I'm just going to stop being shocked that we are thinking the same thing and like feeling the same shit. Like, my body has been hot. Like, my heart has been pulsing. Like, I've definitely, maybe you can speak on this. We can speak on resting and
Oh,
how important rest is. Cause I feel like that's a strong message that's come through these past couple of days for me. Like, you need to, again, that energy of Athena, of the balanced, of the huntress, of the balanced masculine and feminine, go and flow, but
yeah.
like also the space for like just stop and pause and
Yes.
ground and come back.
Yes. Knowing when you're the hunter, right? Knowing when you are going to go out and hunt, and knowing when you need to take a pause to replenish. It's not even rest. It's the
Right.
word he's giving me is replenish.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's been very draining on our body. And I feel like it's very important. And it's a lot of us have this conception of that it's bad to rest, that we need to be doing something, or else, we're not doing anything productive. I'm one of those. To be
Yeah.
completely honest with you, I always need to be on the go.
And it's like so coming up, and my man was just talking about it today. It's like it's so coming up because we're forced to be at home, and a lot of us, our schedules are changing. It's like, wait, but I want to be doing something. But why am I not like, I feel like what he was saying, it's like pretty much like I feel like shit because I'm not getting shit done. But what is there to
Exactly.
do? And so literally, like the card I pulled, you can sit in that is confusion. You can literally spiral and
Yes.
sit in the confusion.
Mm-hmm.
Or what I'm finding is a lot of the cards that were coming out in readings was like inner child. And like that goes back
Yes.
to the heart, right? Of
Yeah.
course. Like finding those activities that lit you the fuck up as a kid
Yeah.
and like brought you that much joy and like,
Yeah.
right, like start to draw during this free time.
Exactly.
Start to paint. Start
Draw.
to yes.
My son started doing like voiceovers for
What?
like
I love it.
for like manga. He loves it. So for JoJo, the manga series, and he
I
loves it. And he started
love
doing
it.
like, I saw his creativity blossom because he's not caught up in stuff. And I'm like, I should be taking some advice from him.
I love that you said that because I thought you were gonna say TikTok, which is like I don't know how old is your son?
My oldest is 13.
Okay, so kind of the same age. My youngest sister is 14, and so she's maybe 15. Jesus, I don't know. She's in the
Okay.
she's in like the TikTok world and like
Oh, okay.
all of that. But like I tell her, like, girl, you are so creative. Like watching them in the moment, like be able to like create something, but then also seeing how much I was criticizing, like, oh my God, you're just on your phone, you're just doing this. Like, there's
Yeah.
actually that other side as well. So that,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
you can get caught
I
up in
love
both,
that.
right?
Yeah, my other son started writing, my little one started doing books and like doing other things. And I was like, wow, I should be doing something too.
I love that. And going back to the inner child, going back to children in general, look to the kids, like what
Exactly.
lights you up. Yeah, they're a lot wiser than us. And
Yeah, because they're not caught up in the anxiety and stuff. You know, little kids, they do maybe for a couple of minutes or for like what? I don't know. A kid could be like 10 minutes the most and then goes and does whatever he wants to go do.
right.
Oh,
I love that. Oh,
such a beautiful energy I feel for April. A lot of fire coming
I,
through too.
I know. I was just gonna say this seems so complete. Like, if there's any other messages that like want to come through, but like I really feel that what has been pulled has been, like you said, so much fire and so much of the energy of that transformation and just really grounding, knowing that again, amidst all of the chaos that there is just such a safe space for us to step
Of
into,
course. Of
that
course.
safe space to step into, to own, to just keep owning our like our soul, our truth.
Our
That
divinity.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
There's a lot of upper world energy here. A lot of the guides are coming in very strongly. You're going to be seeing a lot of synchronicities. It's crazy. I've been seeing a lot. I don't know if you have.
numbers,
Yes.
holy shit. Okay, selfishly I'm gonna ask you if
Yeah,
you
go
can
ahead.
pull cards on, like you were saying, that higher guidance of Lumeria. And it's, of course, I had this came through because Pleiades is a star is that came
Yeah.
through. What I learned today is Pleiades and Lumeria are like pretty
Yeah.
directly the same. What I learned today and had a past life like regression is that I'm a shaman from Lumeria,
Wow.
and it was like the most beautiful experience. I'll do a whole nother like jam on that, but it was like a next level. But I saw that today, and so yeah, Lumeria is heavy, heavy, heavy.
Yes. Lumeria. And I've been looking for a Lumeria crystal, by the way.
Ooh, I have
Yeah.
one. I will send it to you and link it
Oh,
in the
you don't have to.
show notes. I'll send you the well, I was gonna say the name of it. Or do you have the name of it, or are you actually like looking for one? Like you know what you want?
Like I'm looking for a Lumeria crystal. Like a quartz. Is it a quartz? Or is it
I don't know what this one is called, but it's like it was a different name. I was like, yeah, I have the like name of it. So I'll send you the name of it, but send me if it's different. Please send me what
okay?
you're finding.
Okay, perfect.
Because I
I was
feel like
going to tell you, I have a lot of Pleiades energy too. I always get told that.
of course you do.
That's how we get along, I think. We're
That's
probably from the
probably
same
like,
dimension.
I was just gonna say that's probably where we met in past
It's probably
lifetime.
could be. Could be.
Wow. I'm gonna hook you up. We're like so going off on a tangent. We'll get right back into the cards. But I'm having my girl Alyssa, I just recorded with her this morning. She's the one that did this light language song, and she channeled it for me specifically. And so I'm listening to it and had this past life transgression, like regression. And it was like the most
Wow.
mind blowing experience that like, and so, I don't know what I was saying, what we were talking about. I just went really quantum. I got lost in Lumeria. I just like got lost in Lumeria in my head. I was like, wow. But
Lumeria,
yeah,
it's a very high tech planet, right? Or am I wrong?
yeah, it's like I don't know anything about it, JJ. Like I'm like just like
Learning,
I've
tapping into it.
I've only like heard like Pleiades, like you're connected to Pleiades, like, and just learning today that Pleiades is Lumeria, just understanding how connected
They
like
look like this.
Lumeria.
They look like that.
Yeah.
And it's at the bottom of the deck that just came out. Speaking of light,
Oh,
they're blue light beings.
yeah. And like how connected they are to the Pacific Islands. I went to school in Hawaii. Like, it's just like, we could
I
go
was gonna
on.
go this year before this pandemic happened.
Oh my
I was
God.
gonna go. I was like, for some reason, I felt really called to it. Now that you mentioned Hawaii, maybe that could be it. I was supposed to be triggered in some way in Hawaii, maybe, or something was supposed to kind of come out.
What island were you gonna go to?
I didn't have any in mind yet
Mm,
before all of it happened. We were gonna go for summertime, but just adjustment. We'll go when it's time, you know?
right. Interesting. So interesting. You say we have a lot to talk about. Um,
New
Maui,
episodes.
Maui was coming up like heavy with Lumeria.
Oh,
Um,
wow, I think that's where my husband wanted to go.
of course it is. Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys. Okay. Yeah, we have a lot to talk about
Yeah,
after this on that. But I also invite everyone to do their own, again, wormhole research.
of
Look at
course.
Lumeria, Pleiades, whatever that means and resonates for you. And again, however far you want to go with it, it's
Of
totally up
course.
to you. Holding that safe space. But it's a heavy energy for this month. And I think just as I'm expressing this, what's coming through for that step into Aquarius for
Yes,
this new age.
the new age of Aquarius.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very beautiful energy. Their message is, again, to not forge, don't follow. Okay. So there's this energy of there is a pave of a new path. There is a new path for us. And we're being asked to step up to our leadership position here and to follow literally the rhythm of our own drum here. Of course, within, the guidance and
Love
everything.
that.
And to know that we are protected. Archangel Michael did come through as well.
Stop. I love that.
I love Archangel
We
Michael.
got all our archangels up in here.
Exactly. Yes. There is a focus here with the Nine of Pentacles, of a lot of focus on self. The Nine of Pentacles is all about self-love, confidence. It's about knowing that you have everything that you need, that everything's within you and not outside of you. And to move forward with your passions too, with the Knight of Rods here, and to follow your passions. I'm hearing, don't sit on your passions. Don't sit on your creativity.
Oh, that's for me. Shit.
For me too. Trust me, I have so many things going on that I'm like, I'm going to do this, that, and I'm just there doing other things.
Oh, wow.
I'm that way.
I love that. And that comes back to the energy of grounding, of like one thing at a time, one step at a time.
Yes.
Something else wanted to come through, but I forgot. Like, that's super potent.
They're saying time of integration. Time of integration.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. You brought it back. The time of integration, the time to slow down, that creating that safe space for yourself, focusing on yourself, and how you were saying self-love. That's a huge message that came through before too, but really honing in. And I want to reflect how deeply and important this month it is for self-love. And whenever that self-doubt comes up, the alchemy of that is self-love. So not to get caught up in that spiral and not to beat yourself up about doubting yourself or whatever that frequency is.
Yeah.
And it's like, how quickly can you recognize it and come out of it? And again, holding that safe space without saying, oh, well, I fucked up, I was there for too long, oh, I did this for too long.
Yeah, not feeling guilty.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because that came up in the channeled message, but I didn't say it at the top. Self-doubt, and it came out twice.
LOL. That was the last card I pulled in my in the April, like my own energy forecast. So I love that was the last card I pulled. That's the first message on your thing. That's like the last message we're kind of like ending with here. Ugh.
Self-worth, let it, And really, I feel like a lot of us have been sitting on a lot of our projects too here and have been hesitating on planning or taking action towards our dreams because it's rooted in, like you said, self-doubt and
Mhm.
issues of self-worth as well. So sometimes we don't feel good enough to go after something, or we don't feel like we have what it takes, or our skills aren't good, or I don't have the certification for that.
Mhm.
But I do feel here like the last message that they're giving me is about planning and taking action. We will be
Mhm.
moving forward soon. I do feel like as a collective, things will settle down hopefully very soon. And soon will be time to take action. And we're ending it again with the number 2.
Of course we are. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. And a big piece of that, the word that wants to come through that's really unlocked a lot for me, and it's just like in the moment, alchemy is permission. Giving
Yes.
yourself the permission. Don't look anywhere else for permission. You don't need anyone else's permission. You don't need my permission. You don't need JJ's permission. You don't need anyone
Nope.
else's permission but your own. If you want to fucking do it, go for it.
Exactly.
Again, whatever it is. And again, the practice that has helped me awaken to this is literally like, no matter how cheesy it is, but like, like I have the permission to feel this good.
Oh,
I
of
have
course.
the permission to trust that it gets to be this good.
And I was gonna say that, but I lost track of it. But I was gonna tell you, I was like, Emily, I want to say like it's okay for us because a lot of people are in this chaotic energy, right? Anxious, and a lot of us are like good. We're feeling good. We're feeling hopeful. We're feeling like we're trusting, but we feel guilty about it. So
Mm,
I do love the fact that you are saying you are allowed to feel okay during this transition. You know,
mm,
if you're feeling good or you're feeling happy or you're feeling stable, it's okay. It's
mm.
okay if you're not, feeling anxious and worried like everybody else. That's completely okay. So I love that you brought that up because I was going to say that, but I completely forgot.
And I love that you brought that up and said it in that way, because a lot of the people that I've been talking to, and like a lot of people in like my world, in the spiritual world, like we've been doing this work for a while. We've been doing the dark night of the soul shit
Oh, of
and sitting
course.
in our shit and shedding layers. So like, at least for me, like this time of like where everyone seems to be in chaos, I find myself in the most peace. And I'm
Of
like,
course.
why do I feel like this? But like, this is normal. It's just like amplified. And
Yeah.
like, no, let's ground down. We have that choice. I feel safe. You are safe. Like, um,
It's just a shift.
yeah,
That's what we need
just,
to remember, that it's just a shift. It's a cycle, and this too shall pass, and
mm.
we're safe.
And like, me speaking that sounded like so human, saying that, how am I saying, how do I want to say this? How does it want to come out? Like, we have so much support. Like, we're not just the
Of course.
humans, right? We have so much of that divine support. Archangels, we
Of
had the archangel party up in here. We got Lumeria energy. We got
course.
Pleiades energy. We have,
We have door to spirit. It's wide open for us.
oh my God.
If we choose, right? Because divine will, free will, if we choose to tap into it, and if we choose to make spirit how can we say it, a partnership in our journey, because
Mhm.
we have the will to kind of shut the door if we want to, right? There's free will here, but just know that there's spiritual help for us there, that we're not alone, and that they are guiding us. So I love that you reminded us of that. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, and I think we can like keep like I like going riffing point after point after point.
Oh,
I feel like I'll make this my last point,
go ahead.
but when you were saying that, and it's a really beautiful reflection of the divine masculine, divine feminine. I was talking to a sister earlier, and this is speaking to showing up and showing up to what you want to do. It's like us just showing up to that commitment. That's all we need to do is just show up. That's the commitment, and that's holds the space for the flow.
No, yeah, of course. And a lot of people forget that showing up, it's a big step in itself. It's a
Mm,
big step. That's a huge step, like you said.
that comes back to the first message of courage.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh, you guys, this was so, so, so divine.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming back, JJ, and sharing your magic, your messages, all of it with the beautiful Fill Your Cup audience. Yeah, I know they enjoyed it last time.
Thank you for having me. It was an honor to share space with you, and we'll see each other soon.
Yes. Have a beautiful rest of your month, Fill Your Cup family. Until next time.
Until